Okay, let's get started. So last time we stopped here, price discrimination. There are three types of price discrimination. The first one we call first degree price discrimination, and the second one, second degree, and then the third one, the third degree. First degree price discrimination is also called perfect price discrimination because in this case, the producer, the monopolist, knows the reservation price. Okay, please check here, reservation price. So reservation price is the highest price a consumer is willing to pay for an additional unit of good. So that's exactly your willingness to pay. But reservation price is not necessarily about a consumer. So for example, later you get a job, right? Oftentimes, in the interview, the interviewer would ask you how much you would like to get. So what's the salary in your mind? Okay, so Zheng Yilin, Zheng Yilin,
在
what's your reservation price if someone want to hire you?
呃
You know what I mean? You can answer in Mandarin. If I want to hire you, how much will I have to pay you?
是是自己决定吗？
Of course, I asked you. So the
呃
interviewer, right? Let us say you want to get a job at TSMC, right? So they ask you, how much would you like? What would you say?
呃呃
So what would be the price I have to pay? Is it that difficult?
有一点
Really? Just say a number, right?
随便说一个嘛。
Yeah.
4万
Really? 40,000 is
It's
not quite
enough.
high, right? If just an operator, it's more than that, If just operator, it's more than that.
真的
Yes, of course. This welcome Farah, right? Sorry, how to pronounce your name? Is Farah here? Farah? Hello?
Yes, Professor.
Oh, good. So where do you live?
I'm living in Indonesia.
Oh, really? Which part? Java.
Yes, in Java, sir, in Yogyakarta City.
Oh, good. So I miss you. You should have been here a long time ago. So anyway, so how's weather here? Sorry, how's the weather there?
Pardon, sir?
Excuse me?
Sorry, I cannot hear you clearly.
Okay, how is the weather in Indonesia?
Really good, sir.
Good. Okay, the question to you. What's your reservation price? Suppose you want to work at any company in Taiwan. What's your reservation price? How much you would like to get paid? Is a difficult question? Sorry, Zheng Yiling just said she would like to have 40,000 NT. What about you? Hello? Are you connected? Laura, I lost you. Are you still here? Okay, anyway, let's move on. So, for the first degree price discrimination, because the producer, the monopolist, knows exactly what a consumer would like to pay. So, in this case, in terms of the distribution of the social well-being, it is all gone. Okay, the consumer surplus of the consumer is now all of the producer's profit. So this is, of course, probably going to say a worst scenario in terms of social well-being. But in terms of production efficiency, it would have a chance to be the same as perfect competition. Okay, because then the demand curve, which is usually the average revenue curve for the monopolist, but now it is going to become the marginal revenue. So in terms of the uh, optimal solution for the producer, for the monopolist, it is MC, marginal cost, intersects with the marginal revenue. But the marginal revenue now is the demand curve. So the solution is exactly the same with perfect competition. So in terms of production efficiency, that is the same. So we have talked about this before. In terms of production efficiency, the monopoly could be the same as perfect competition, but unfortunately, in this case, the social well-being will be all for the monopolist. So that is the reason in many countries, including Taiwan, America, Great Britain, they all have an agency that try to block anyone with monopoly power. Okay, so we have second degree, as I say. It is something that a producer can divide the production level for several batches. So sell one batch at a time. So the example I gave you is that is a steel company in Taiwan, okay? Or the Thai plastic, because they are the biggest producer in Taiwan. And so they, of course, have monopoly power. And for how much price to charge, which buyer, they have the monopoly power. And so in this case, of course, they're gonna depend on who is gonna buy a bigger lot, okay, or who is more cooperative with the policy of the company. So something like that. And third degree price discrimination is about several markets. And I say for several markets, each market you're going to charge a different price based on price elasticity of demand. So elasticity of demand higher, then the price going to be lower. And the reason we have talked about it before. So let's move on. Okay, so here first degree price discrimination. The demand curve originally is the average revenue curve for the monopolist, but now it becomes marginal revenue. And so assume the sorry, I'm going to get a marker. Okay, so F here. Okay. So originally, for the producer, for this monopolist, the solution is here. Okay. At this point, marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. And so the production level is equal to 4. And so this solution is here. Okay. And the price is here, $6. But because of the first degree price discrimination, the solution now is the same thing as a perfect competition. So the answer is, the solution here is F, production level is A. So it's the same thing as supply curve marginal cost intersects the demand curve. But unfortunately, as I say, the consumer surplus has now all become part of the monopolist profits. Okay, so here there are some points that you need to remember. is that students sometimes incorrectly believe that first-degree price discrimination reduces welfare. Okay, it doesn't. The welfare is the same, only who has it. Okay, so in this case, the consumer surplus, the area of the triangle, okay, is still there, but only that it now belongs to producer or becomes part of its profit. So first degree price discrimination doesn't reduce social well-being. Okay, and so in comparing with monopoly and perfect competition, you're gonna know that the social welfare is actually the same. Okay, but again, who has a bigger share? It is the producer. Okay, so in the exam you will get something like this, but probably not in terms of table, because now you'll be able to get a chance to check your book or your note when we gonna have to do something more difficult. So basically, uh, here is the price and here's the quantity, right? And so, but because as I say, you know, if you gonna sell more, you have to lower down your price, and then the marginal revenue gonna go down. So you're gonna see something like this. So here is one batch. Okay, this batch probably for person A, and this batch for person B, and this batch for person C. So basically, it is something like this. But as the producer, want to sell more, it necessarily have to lower down the price. Okay. So the idea is like that. And third degree price discrimination, uh, is based on two different markets. Of course, you can have several different markets, and then at each different market, you're gonna charge a different price. So here, the example is that, you know, this is the demand for people under age 65, and so for people over age 65, probably you're gonna give them some discount. Okay, in terms of the air travel, if you're gonna travel to the United States, there's one airline called United Airline. United Airline has a program called Silver Wing. Okay, it offers discount to people that is over 55. Okay, because they got more leisure time, and so you're gonna encourage them to travel, so give them some discounts. But of course, is it good or bad? It really depends. And I believe, of course, that is good. Just like for those of you, when summer comes and you wanna take HSR high speed rail, 黄秀慧,
在
if you want to take high speed rail, what are the discounts during summer? Do you know what I'm referring to? What is high speed rail?
可以
黄秀慧.
再说一次吗？
Now we are referring to we are referring to price discrimination. And so, first question, what is high speed rail? HSR, high speed rail. It offers very, rapid transportation between Kaohsiung and Taiwan. Kaohsiung and Taipei. So what's HSR?
哦，我不太了解。
林玉祥, what is HSR that I'm referring to?
高铁
Excuse me?
高铁
Okay. So Huang Xiaoyu, you get it?
哦，我有懂，
Excuse me?
懂了，
You don't know? Okay, 林玉祥.
我懂了。
Oh, you got it? Okay, good. And so what does HSR offer during summer for college students? What kind of discount you gonna have?
我吗？
Excuse me?
是我吗？学生优惠
Right. So what's that? How does it look like?
会比较便宜，就是学生买票的话，
Okay. But can I take it? 黄修伟, can I take it?
应该不行吧？
Why
因为
not?
不是学生。
Because they would check your student ID, right?
对，
So if you have price discrimination, one important thing is that you cannot have people buy it and resell it to others. Okay, if you allow that, you won't be able to, do effective price discrimination. And so, of course, anyone may try to take it, right, to take the discount for students, but anyone purchase a discount ticket needs to have a student ID, but I don't have it. So and most of you know that the trends that offer discount are usually really early in the morning or late into the evening, around 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Okay, so this show you one example. A monopolist, they can have some power to charge price, but they cannot charge any price they like. So for example, HSR, if they want to fill all the seats in the train, what they need to do, they have to lower down the price. And so in this case, because they know students don't have much income, and still they would like to enjoy the convenience and super fast service for long distance, and so that they offer discounts. But in this case, students will be hard to purchase the price and sell it to others, because for those use the tickets, they need to show student ID, and not everyone has it. Okay, so here is the same thing. Okay, so what's the difference here? So Chen Xizai, can you
Hey,
sorry, can you see figure 12.3? Can you see that?
可以，
Okay, good. So this is 12.3, right? Okay, and here is 12.3b. Okay, the previous one is A. Okay, this is for under age 65, and this one is for over age 65. So can you tell me what's the difference here? Okay, this is under 65, and here is over 65. So can you tell me what's the difference?
就一个超过，一个没超过。
No, I'm referring the chart. Of course, I know one is over, the other is under, right? So what else can you see from the diagram? What other differences can you see? Okay, here is over. Okay, here is under. So what's the difference?
一个已经以上了吧？
I know that,
对
right?
啊，那你还问？
We all know that. So
呃，
what other difference can you tell?
越老越不喜欢吧？
Okay, anyway. 李玉祥, what's the difference? Can you tell us more than that? What's the difference? Here is under. Here is over. So, okay. So what does that mean?
超过65岁的比较需求，
for over 65 is more elastic, right?
对，
The demand curve is flatter, okay? More elastic, okay? And for this one, under 65 is less elastic, right? So for less elastic, what happened? They charge a higher price at 5.5, right? And for this one is more elastic. They charge at a lower price at $3. So see that? 陈希才, you get it? 陈希才,
算吧。
okay? So, for third degree price discrimination, we say there are two markets. And so you have this kind of issue there. So because different price elasticity, then you charge different price. Okay, let's move on. And so the implication is that the producer, they can earn more. Okay, the producer can earn more. But in this case, you're going to see why, right? Okay, can you charge both groups, okay, for those over and under 55, the same price, $5.5? The point is, for those under 65, perhaps they are still working, right? So they have income, they would like to pay it. But if you charge those over 65 also $5.5, probably they won't take it. And in this case, what happened? You lose your income from this group of citizens. So anyway, so if just like HSR, right? If they don't offer you discount, what you gonna do? You won't take it, okay? And if you, if they offer you discount and you take it, of course they're gonna earn more money out of it, okay? Okay, so it talk about there's one chance that you can charge a unified price, okay, uniform price. So that you can charge one price and get more income out of it. This is called two-part tariff. Okay, two-part tariff. 于花园
Hey,
What's tariff? Tariff. Tariff.
叫关税。
Okay, so here, not necessarily. When we talk about two-part tariff, actually, it is, basically just pricing. Okay. Okay, let us turn to page 331. Okay, page 331 is kind of interesting. So I would like to read it to you. So can everyone see page 331? 高家燕. Can you see page 31?
Page 31.
331. Okay, we don't have that much time. So this is about Disneyland, right? Disneyland. Okay, so family from all over the world travel to Disneyland. So people like it, right? I believe everyone like it. Once a family has invested in a trip to Disney World, there is then the expense of the 4 theme parks. The first one, Magic Kingdom and Epcot, Disney MGM Studios, and the Animal Kingdom. So I'm not so sure because I only have been to the Disneyland in California. This one is about Florida, okay? So kind of different project, much bigger. So anyway, the family's demand to enter the theme parks at this point is inelastic, okay? Why? 谢金佑. So when you plan to travel to Florida and to Disney World, so when you get to Florida, so why at that point your family's demand to enter the theme parks is inelastic? 谢金佑.
可以再一次吗？
Okay, so it said the family's demand to enter the theme park at this point is inelastic. So when you are at your home, right? When you're at your home, you can plan where you're gonna go, right? When you get there, when you get to Florida, what else can you do? There's only one way, right? You're gonna go or you don't. So as a matter of fact, you already spent a lot of money, okay, on air travel or on cars, and then on hotels. And so in this case, the admission, okay, the price to get into the theme parks is just a small part of it. So, well, if you have spent a long time and a lot of money, and you're already in Florida, so if you don't get into the Disney World, you're stupid, right? So basically is the idea. So that's the reason, let's look at the table. Sorry, let me see here. Okay, so here, the price discrimination at Disney World, you can see non-Florida resident and Florida resident. So, 谢金佑, which one is more expensive?
没有去的
Excuse me?
non-Florida resident.
Okay, people don't live in Florida, right? They are more expensive. Okay, why? 谢金佑 why?
因为他们还要去到那边的那个成本。
Exactly. Okay, they already spent a lot of money. Okay, air travel, cars, hotels, and for $400 is just minimal. Okay, so why not just pay for it and stay there? Okay, so you can see at the bottom. Okay, 1 day pass. Okay, 1 day pass is just for 1 day, right? The price is the same. But suppose you want to pay for 4 days, okay, for 4 days. For people stay in Florida, the Florida residents, they can come and go very soon, right? And so they are cheaper because they want, Disney World want Florida residents to stay there more. But, for those people already spend a lot of money and go to Florida, okay, $200 is just minimal. Okay, so that's the reason they have a price discrimination. Okay, but does it really work? 叶一方, does it really work? Suppose you are, a resident of Florida, right?
Right.
And you go to Disney World to buy a ticket at 109. Okay, what would you do? If you sell it to someone else, how much you can get out of it? The price is 208, right? So what would you do?
Sell higher.
So you can buy low, sell high, right? But okay, if you use the Florida resident ticket to enter the Disney World, okay, what would you have to do? You have to show ID, right? So, Wang Jiahui, what's ID?
身份证字号码。
Right, something like that. For American people, they actually don't have ID, but they most likely drive cars, so they have driver's license. So that's what we call oftentimes photo ID. So in this case, Disney World, they price discriminate against those not living in Florida. And in this case, you can see they can, attract more people from Florida to visit Disney World and earn a little bit more money from people coming out of Florida. Okay, this is very interesting case. Because Taiwan is just too small, right? Probably you don't have this kind of discrimination price, but so let us say Chen Qinghu, right? So金正党 金盛
嗨
岛。
嗨嗨，
Have you been to 澄清湖？
经过而已。
Okay. If you are, as far as I can remember, if you live around 澄清湖, actually you can get into 澄清湖 for free. Okay. But can you do that for someone else? The answer is no, right? Because again, you need to have ID. Okay, let's move on. So this is kind of interesting. You have, price discrimination. So let's move on to page 332. Now we got to two-part tariff. So some people just mentioned tariff is something like a tax on goods imported to Taiwan, but actually is really not the case. It talk about two kinds. I mean, two-part pricing means you get a fixed fee, and the other you get a variable charge. Okay, so here let me read it to you. It said a pricing policy consisting of fixed or lump sum payment. Okay, so first you have a fixed or lump sum payment, and then you have a per unit user price. Okay, so and then tie-in sales. Tie-in sales and bundling actually is quite similar. So for example, now because it's really hot in Taiwan, and so you have seen a lot of advertisements for air conditioning. So卢佑祥 hello 卢佑祥余华园
嗨，
What's air conditioning?
冷气。
Okay, so usually if you see the advertisement, usually you buy an air conditioner and then you can get something for free. Okay, so what's this? This is something like bundling. Okay, so sometimes you can get electric fan, coffee maker, a lot of things. So this is called bundling. And what else? So long time ago in 1990s, when Microsoft has a dominant position in the software of PC. They say Microsoft. If you purchase a Microsoft Windows system, then it comes with IE. Okay, so a lot of things it looks like this. Bundling. Okay, means something can be sold together. Okay, so for example, in the hotel, right? If you visit a hotel and want to stay there, usually they're gonna give you some free voucher, okay, to get some meals or to buy some souvenir. But as a matter of fact, there are a lot of examples, bundling, tie-in sale. So let me read tie-in sale to you. It is a pricing policy that requires consumer to purchase one good in order to be permitted to purchase another good. So this is a little bit different. Okay, you have to buy one to be able to get a chance to buy the other. So for example, you actually want to buy the one that come together with that, and you really don't want the original good that you want to buy, but somehow because it is come together, and so you have to buy one to get the other. Okay, so sometimes it is quite nice here. So for example, if you want to buy something, right? But first you have to get to Costco, okay, to get a membership. Okay, without a membership, you can gonna get the other goods. Oh, so it only available at Costco, something like that. And a lot of companies, they work that way and trying to promote their products. Usually it could be that the other product probably people don't quite like it. Okay, but because of this kind of policy, you will be forced to buy one to get the other. Okay, so bundling is quite the same. Okay, let's move on. Okay, something like this. So here As a matter of fact, in the homework, you have a lot of homework about this. Okay, so you got to work on some of the homeworks. And of course, because we are now all online, so you are not required to hand in your homework, but you really need to be able to work out the problems because it will be in the final. Okay. So here it is, figure 12.6. Okay, let me read the elaboration here. So what's going on? So this is an example of two-part tariff with identical demand for all consumers. So in this case, consumers have the same demand. Okay, so if the monopolist uses a two-part tariff and charge a fixed fee, so the fixed fee gonna be equal to A, okay, B, and C. So you can see this fixed fee is exactly equal to the consumer surplus. And then they charge another variable charge per unit price, MC. So as you can tell, if the monopolist, okay, they charge different person at different price, of course they can get something, okay, also a very good deal, right? Sorry, the drawing is not quite good, but so let us say they can charge each person at a different price, but you can see the triangle here, right? Triangle here and a triangle here. For this part, okay, the monopolist cannot get it. So in terms of to maximize the profit, it is better for the monopolist to charge a per unit price MC and a fixed fee, okay, and a fixed fee like this, okay. And then what you get, the monopolist get all the consumer surplus as part of its profit. So that's the reason, two-part pricing is quite attractive there. Okay. Okay, let's turn to figure 12.7. And the difference here is that, this one, okay, D2, a consumer, and D1, another consumer. So as you can tell, D1 is steeper. Okay, D1 is steeper, and D2 is flatter. So the price elasticity of demand is higher for D1. So there are several choices here. The producer, the monopolist, they can choose to sell into market. Okay, can sell into market, and of course you can get, two part of the revenues. But the producer can also ignore the part with a smaller market. Okay, just focus on market D2. Actually, in this case, he would be able to get a better deal. Okay, so let me read page 334, figure 12.7 to you. It said a two-part tariff with different demands. So if the monopolist charges a per copy fee equal to MC, okay, it is there. And if the maximum fixed fee, the lower volume user will pay equals to the sum of the shaded areas. So it is A, B, and C. That's for the smaller one, okay. And if the fixed costs are FC per copier, and the monopolist charges both consumer a fixed fee equal to A plus B plus C. So this is the fixed fee, okay. The fixed fee and the oops. Anyway, how to make it smaller? Okay. And so, as you can tell, the whole profit will be 2 times A plus B plus C minus 2FC. So in this case, because the monopoly is facing two consumer, and so charge the same fixed fee, but suppose the monopolist want to get a higher price, actually he can forget about this one with a smaller market, and then actually he can make more out of it. So then his profit going to be A plus B plus C and plus E and minus FC. Okay, so here is one of the example that a monopolist, in this case, using two-part tariff to get more income out of it. Okay, bundling. You know, for this kind of issue, as a matter of fact, I'm not quite familiar. Okay, because I like to exercise, but I don't quite like looking at sports. So, 高家燕，高家燕
打电话去订了。喂
，Do you watch NBA?
，No,
Really? So you don't like to watch sports?
I don't watch sport.
Really? 李玉祥 Do you watch sports? Taiwan's I mean the basketball of Taiwan or baseball of Taiwan. Do you watch that? 李玉祥 李玉祥 not here. 张策伟
Here.
Do you watch baseball games in Taiwan?
我从来没有看，
Anyway,
真
so
的
right. Okay. Anyway, that's the same thing for me because I like to exercise, but I don't quite watching those games. Anyway, here the example is the same thing about what we just discussed. Okay, so let us say you have two person. They really like to watch. What's this game? Let me check it. So well, it doesn't say. So let us say it's baseball. Okay, so Buffalo Bills. Probably. I really have no idea. So anyway, you have two person. One is called woman, and the other one is called Katie. Okay, they are the fans. Okay, and here is the price they are willing to pay. So woman would like to pay 280. Okay, and then the pre-season ticket 100. So the total is 380. And for Katie, she would like to pay. She would like to pay 300. And for pre-season ticket, you would like to pay 60. Okay. So what's going on here? The point is you can only have one price. Okay, you can only have one price. Why? Because if you sell 300, if you sell 280 to woman, for two sets of ticket, what she's gonna do? He of course gonna resell it. So for pricing, there has to be only one price, okay? Because it's one ticket, so it has to be only one price. And so what you're gonna do, okay? So in this case, what you're gonna do is that you have to have bundling, okay? So that is something that I don't quite understand properly, because they are regular season and preseason, right? So probably preseason, is not really that exciting, okay? Because it doesn't determine who is the, sorry, time is up. So let's take a break. See you later in 10 minutes.